Today, we will read a story about castles in the sand. But before that, let's get familiar with some words first. Awkward. Awkward means clumsy and not graceful. Look at the boy in the picture. The cast on his leg makes him walk in an awkward way. Tide. We can see the tide is the level of the ocean that changes twice a day. When the tide is high, the waves come farther upon the beach. When the tide is low, the waves are farther out. Construct. What do you see in this picture? Yes, someone is building a house. Construct means the same thing as build. Tower. A tower is a tall, narrow building. You often see towers on castles. Drop. A drop is a small amount of liquid thought is rounded, like a drop of water or a drop of mud. Look at the drop of water in the picture. Now, find the box in the corner. Drop also means to let something fall. What is the girl dropping? Yes, it is a stuffed animal. Bold. Bold means the same thing as brave. What do you see in this picture? Yes, a lion tamer. You need to be bold to be a lion tamer because lions can be dangerous and kind of scary. Divide. When you divide something, you split it into parts. Look at the cheese in this picture. It's been divided into 4 pieces. Equal. Equal means the same. Look at the 2 rows of seashells. How many shells are in each row? Yes, 5. Each row has an equal number of shells. Length. The length of something is how long it is. You can measure anything to find out its length. Length is often measured in inches or in feet. What is the boy in the picture doing? He is measuring the length of a surfboard. Receive. Receive is another way to say get. It is the opposite of give. Look at the girl in this picture. She is receiving a gift. Her grandpa is giving her the gift. Next, let's move to today's story. Castles in the sand. The weather was finally getting warm as the end of the school year got closer. Caroline, David, and their mother had entered a sandcastle contest at the beach. Now they were walking from the car, carrying pails, shovels, funnels, and beach bags. Mom walked awkwardly because she was carrying a big, heavy picnic basket. "What kind of castle should we build?" asked Caroline, nearly dropping her pail. "Elle don't know," said David, stopping to pull out his action figures. "But it's got to be big enough for my bold knights. And for my princess and dragon," Caroline added, showing David the figures she'd brought. "Now that's teamwork," said Mom. "We should check the list of rules and prizes before we start." David nodded. Then he looked out at the ocean and noticed that the tide was way out. "Oh, good," he said. "We don't have to worry about waves coming in and destroying our castle." Caroline, David, and their mother found a good spot and sat down to unload their things. Mom looked grateful to be able to put down the heavy picnic basket. "Let's put on some sunblock before we do anything. You don't want to ruin the clay by getting a sunburn." As they put on their sunblock, they forgot all about checking the list of rules and prizes. Caroline and David were thinking about the splendid castle they were going to build. "Let's start constructing the walls," said David. "First, I need one of you to help me find some things to decorate the castle," said Mom. "Okay, Mom, I'll walk with you while David gets started," said Caroline. They walked along the beach, and before long, the 2 of them had found lots of decorations for the castle. They had to divide everything between them in order to carry it all. Their hands and pockets were full of shells and pretty rocks. Caroline even found some smooth sea glass to use for windows. "We should have brought a pail for all these things," said Mom. When they got back, they saw that David had already dug a moat and built a tower. He'd used a pail, filled it with wet sand, and turned it over. Then he carefully lifted off the pail, and he had a tower shape. Now he was working on one of the walls. Caroline emptied her pockets of the decorations she and her mom had collected. As she looked down at the sand, she saw something glittering in the sun. "Look what I found," said Caroline, excitedly holding up a shiny round object for her mother to see. "Do you think it's a pirate coin?" Mom wasn't sure what the coin was, but she reminded the kids that they only had an hour left to finish their castle, so they'd better get to work. Caroline and David built 4 walls of equal length inside the moat. They made holes in the walls for windows and added pieces of sea glass to make them look real. Caroline took handfuls of wet sand and let it drip out, 1 drop at a time, on top of the tower until it came to a point. David decorated the castle with shells. "We're sure to have the best castle," David boasted. Before they could add their action figures, one of the judges came over. "Nice castle," she said. "I like your windows. Those are super." "And look what I found," said Caroline. "Do you think it's a pirate coin?" The judge laughed. "No, young lady," she said. "Didn't you read the list of prizes? It says that whoever finds this coin will receive a prize. Your team has won a free dinner at Frank's Fish Restaurant. Congratulations!" "Hooray!" said David, who suddenly felt very hungry. "This is even better than a pirate coin. You can't eat one of those." Caroline, David, and their mother didn't win the sandcastle contest after all, but they went home happy and very full after a delicious dinner. The end.